My name is Marissa Frois, and I'm the CEO at the Entrepreneur Source. Congratulations on taking your first step toward exploring self-sufficiency. We hope you found your experience with your coach valuable, as their top priority is guiding you through education, awareness, and discovery. During your conversations, the topic of funding may have come up. Rest assured, there are numerous funding options available to help you achieve your dreams of self-sufficiency. In our video series, our funding experts will provide valuable insights and foundational knowledge about some of the funding possibilities you can explore. We hope this helps put your mind at ease and empowers you as you continue this exciting journey ahead.
So let's talk about the different types of SBA loans that are out there. There's the SBA 7A program, and this is used to purchase equipment, working capital, real estate, and more. And then we have the SBA 504 program, and this is really used to purchase real estate along with major fixed assets as well. Finding the right SBA loan for you depends on your business needs, your industry, and financial profile as well. The SBA loans vary. They start at $100,000 all the way up to $5 million. So really any franchise out there can fit within that threshold. A very common question when approaching the SBA process that we get from clients is, do I need a down payment? Do I need to put some skin in the game? And the answer is absolutely. So typically a down payment for an SBA loan can vary from 10 to about 20%. SBA funds can be used to cover franchise fees, startup costs, working capital, equipment. The list goes on. However, the down payment must be met first before using those fees for everything else. Let's talk about credit scores. This is a big question that comes up with SBA financing. When clients are pursuing SBA financing, they really want to look to have a 680 or above credit score. And also the lenders typically prefer under 30% credit utilization as well. And if their scores aren't quite there yet, there's plenty of credit repair references out there to help them get that score above 680. So a very common question when it comes to SBA financing is, do I need collateral? And while we don't like to say it depends, unfortunately, SBA isn't black and white all of the time. But really the general rule with collateral on SBA lending is when you're starting to, borrow a lot, typically $500,000 and above on an SBA loan, then the banks will very likely require that personal collateral, typically in the form of the primary residence. Those loans under $500,000, it's less likely, but it's not promised, right? Maybe you just meet the income requirements or just have enough cash on hand. Maybe the lender would want to, require that collateral. But if you're, flying with passing colors with income and liquidity and things like that, maybe they wouldn't require that collateral. So the general rule we like to say is $500,000 and above, pretty much going to have to put that collateral down, and then less than $500,000, it's less likely. Let's talk about pre-approval and maybe how long that takes. So surprisingly, pre-approval doesn't really take that long. Typically clients need to, fill out an application, share some financial statements, W-2s, tax returns, and depending on their urgency of, bringing in those documents, typically pre-approvals can be turned around within 2 to 4 business days. Let's talk about what you need to know before approaching the SBA pre-approval process. I think it's a good idea to have an idea of where your credit score is. How much liquidity do you have on hand? What does the income look like? Are you going to bring a partner or investor into the project? That could change things up. What industry are you going into? Do you necessarily know your business just yet? So all of these things combined are good to think about when approaching the SBA pre-approval process. There are no prepayment penalties on SBA loans. They're typically stretched out over 10-year terms, and people can feel free to pay that off in 2 or 3 years if they like, so no prepayment penalties. A very frequently asked question when it comes to SBA financing is, do I need my job, right? I want to buy a business. I want to, maybe some people want to leave their job and purchase a business. So it's a very common question. The light answer is no, you don't necessarily need a job for an SBA loan, but the lenders want to make sure that you have debt service, right? You can cover the debt of the loan. So if you have a job and you have sufficient income, that's great. If maybe you just got laid off, or maybe you don't have a job at the moment, the lenders are going to want to see some cash reserves for the lack thereof income. And that's typically around 12 to 24 months of cash reserves set aside if someone does not have income. Let's talk about business plans when it comes to SBA financing. You absolutely need a business plan when approaching SBA financing. And it also needs to be written within the SBA guidelines. Business plans consist of a lot of pages, typically a bio, working history, demographics, marketing plans, all of these things composed into this business plan so that you can hand it over to the lender and have them approve the loan. So absolutely, business plans are required. Let's talk about the different programs designed for maybe veterans or minorities or women-owned businesses. There are absolutely SBA programs out there for these groups. For example, there's the SBA Veterans Program, and this is reduced fees on closing costs, origination fees, and things like that. And then for minority-owned and women-owned businesses, we typically suggest clients go to their local Chamber of Commerce for more information on these items.
We hope you found this funding education to be of value. We're excited for what lies ahead and want you to know that our organization is here to support you every step of the way as you explore the possibilities of your career 2.0.